Hi everyone, I'm Donna Stellhorn, your practical astrologer, and today we are talking about the full moon. It's on October 6th, it's at 14 degrees of Aries, and now that eclipse season is done, now comes the time of opportunities. And so let's talk about how to take hold of those opportunities. So let's take a look at the chart, and what we have is the full moon, which is of course right here. I'm still learning how to draw. And so with this full moon chart, we look at what kind of aspects it's making and what else is going on in the chart. And very specifically, the things that are jumping out at me, let me get rid of those blue lines, is that we've got Mercury here at 0 degrees and then Neptune here at 0 degrees. Now 0 degrees is a very interesting energy, because different than 1 degrees and 2 degrees, 0 is all possibilities. There's a myriad of possibilities, and it can feel so much so that it's overwhelming. And having two planets in this position, and exactly in an inconjunct, and both of them ruled by Mars, because the Mercury in Scorpio is ruled by Mars, and the Neptune in Aries, of course, is ruled by Mars. And in this chart, we have Mars in Scorpio, feels very at home in Scorpio. So here you have an ability to take action, but you have all of these possible things that you can do. And all of them are going to take a little bit of work, because even though the Neptune can give you the idea that you could just slide right in, that it's easy, and the Mercury says, here are the steps to take, so you know what to do, it still has enough of an effort to it that it's going to be different. And that's the thing that the eclipse wanted us to do anyway, is to end something that we're familiar with and try something new. And so this chart really epitomizes that. And because it's a full moon chart, everything's lit up. It's right here to say, look, over the last couple of weeks, the universe has been saying, here you go, here you go. And maybe now is the time that you can say, oh yeah, there's enough light here, there's enough energy here, I see the possibilities, and I'm going to grab hold of it. Another really interesting part of this chart is the Venus sitting right there with the South Node. So Venus is what we want and what we like and what we think will be comfortable and delicious, and the South Node is the familiar. So right there we have this desire to stay with what we know. And yet with these two planets at 0 degrees and this full moon saying the energy is very high, now's really the time to say, what can I do that's different? What's the different path I can take? How can I think differently? How can I take a different route, to what I want to do? With an astrology reading, you get more information about who you are, your talents and abilities. You get to see what obstacles are ahead, and you can get a game plan for how to get past those obstacles and find success. So if you're interested in having a reading, there's a link in the description. Okay, let's take a look at your sign. Okay, Aquarius, your short-term opportunity seems to be something in your career, and that could mean that you get a new project that's very exciting, you get to work with someone that you're excited about, or that you get some sort of recognition at work. If you own a business, this could be a jump up in your sales, or that you get some sort of external recognition for what you've been doing, like an award. So that's the short term. It's something that's going to come. You have to grab hold of it. It's a little bit fleeting. It'll happen over this next 2 weeks. Your longer term energy is around contracts and agreements. And a lot of those could be, for a lot of people, could be around your job. So this might be something where you're getting an employment contract, or that you are going from temporary to permanent, or something like that. But there are other types of contracts too. This could be for selling a house or selling other large ticket item. This could be even a marriage contract. So there's different types of agreements, and you might resonate with one of these. That's the direction to go. with a long-term opportunity like this, it's kind of like you grab the string and you follow the string until you find what it's tied to. And so this will extend outside the 2-week period, but look for some sort of hint about a contract or agreement over this next 2 weeks. Now, when it comes to relationships, I have to say, in this chart, there's hardly any aspects going on. And I think it's so interesting because we just had those 2 really intense eclipses where there was just, we were pulled in so many different directions and emotions going up and down. And now we get this super quiet chart where we're kind of in a lull. Except, of course, Aquarius, you can handle excitement, so you're one of the few signs that are actually doing aspects, which means you could run into someone and make a connection with them for a new love relationship, or with your existing love relationship, the 2 of you could come together and make a decision, an important decision that you do outside of this 2-week period, that you decide to take the relationship to the next level, or that you decide as a couple that you're going to move or change something that's fundamental, and then you can tell the world about it. So the relationship energy for you over this next 2 weeks is quite strong. So when it comes to your money, the interesting combination of energies that you're doing is very much about having the vision and then taking the action. And so if you're already doing things like affirmations or visualizations, that's fantastic, but that has to be coupled with an action in the physical world. And so that would be, if you are doing affirmations for more money, then immediately when you finish the affirmation, go take a single action towards making the money, like doing a cold call, sending out a sales brochure, or looking at your investments and making a decision. So when you bring those 2 together, then you're unstoppable. Then you are so powerful. But right now, they feel like they're worlds apart. And so that's what you want to do, is you want to say, what is my vision? What do I keep affirming? And then what's the smallest little action I can take to set that in motion? Now, when it comes to money from business, and even the money that comes from your career, so that would be a paycheck, the issue is that you're comfortable. And I say it's an issue because, comfortable sounds good, doesn't it? But comfortable doesn't make more money. It makes the same money. And so if you get too comfortable, unfortunately, then things can start to atrophy, and then there's loss. But I don't think it's at that point. I think this is more of a place of stasis. So if that's the goal, and again, that's a worthy goal, I want to be comfortable, that can work. But if it's necessary right now for you to make more money than you make usually, then you have to take some sort of different action. And right now, it feels too comfortable to stay where you're at. Today's tutorial is a blast from the past, especially for those of you who miss my long hair and want to know about your rising sign. Here you go. I'm Donna Stellhorn, and here are 3 things you may not know about your rising sign. Number 1, your rising sign is based on your time of birth and location of birth, and the rising sign changes every 2 hours. And so over a 24-hour period, we will go through all 12 rising signs, which means that sometimes even twins have different rising signs. Number 2, your rising sign is how you appear to others, and so they may see you as your rising sign more than your sun sign. Rising signs can also affect your appearance, and so you might find that you look more like your rising sign. For example, Taurus can have a gap in their teeth, or Virgo might have very long, beautiful fingers, or Scorpio has very piercing eyes. This is based on the rising sign, not on the sun sign. And number 3, if your sun sign and your rising sign are the same, then you're a double. And that means that what we see is what we get. That's awesome.